Well, it looks like we're in a bull market. Are you in denial? That is the question today. Are you in denial? You got to ask yourself. We had a very sharp, vicious rally. We talked about this the last month. The setup was there, and we're gonna go over why this rally continues. You obviously have the cues breaking out of resistance. We're gonna go over the technicals as usual, the macro, the fundamentals. Very bullish here. We got some very. Stay tuned. All right, here we go. All right, so look, this is pretty much what we had today. Okay, this is probably the prime example of what we got today in the market. And I wish I would have actually done this on the open, but this is kind of, for the open in the video, but this is what we're seeing right here. The bulls are tearing up the bears, okay? And you're here because you want to figure out why. Why is that the case? Does this rally continue? Does it have legs? And I'm going to show you that it does have legs, okay? But before we get there, obviously, let's just address the elephant in the room. The NASDAQ had a vicious rally, okay? We are now breaking the actual resistance, the flag, the bull flag resistance. We're breaking that resistance, okay? The RSI is heading for the highs. We're not even oversold yet. I mean, overbought. Once we get overbought, there's probably going to be a pullback. You always get a pullback, but we're not at the pullback level yet. We're headed for the previous local highs. Once we get there, okay, let me fix this a little bit. Once we get to those previous local highs, the next level is all-time highs. The next level is all-time highs. We're not that far away from all-time highs on the Qs. The reason I'm focusing on the Qs is for a very good, very fundamental reason, and we're going to get into that right now. I'm going to jump over to the Twitter just to show you guys. Look, why the Qs? About a month ago, I said, hey, year-end rally, Santa Claus rally, and I did highlight the Qs here, right? These are the Qs, Santa Claus rally for the Qs. The highlight here is that they are premium stocks, right? This is the checklist: pure revenue growth, demand for the products, pricing power, increased efficiencies, margin retention. We're going to hit that: low debt, high cash flow, share buybacks, EPS goes higher, right? Earnings per share, debt funding through money market funds, disruptive innovation. Everybody was super bearish. A lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people are super bearish. And, they just didn't see the future. Did I get lucky? Are we lucky here? Maybe, maybe not. But I'll tell you what's fueling this rally. It's people like this. It's bears like this that are fueling the rally. Mega cap tech companies. By the way, this guy just cussed out Tom Lee online, said, F you, you stupid. Mega cap tech companies like NVIDIA are trading at 115 times earnings going into severe global recession. What? What is this? What are these guys talking about? This is some of you guys, right? Some of you guys are delusional, and you think that the stock market has to bend to the will of the recessionary forces, which are very small. The SPY will drop 50%, Mr. Dr. Tom PhD says, and this is ex-Goldman Sachs. This guy's from ex-Goldman Sachs, whatever. The SPY will drop 50%, AMD will drop 90%, Meta will drop 80%, NVIDIA will drop 80%. What? This is why the market is going higher, because people like this that are extra bullish, bearish, extremely bearish, listening to these economists that come from home, they read a bunch of data, and that's totally fine. These are smart guys. Don't get me wrong. These are very smart guys. Household debt just hit an all-time high. We're going to go over this data, by the way. Household debt hit all-time high, 17.3 trillion, led by credit card, loan, mortgages. These are baby boomers who have recency bias. They're expecting what they saw in 08. That has to come. I bet you he's in gold. I bet you he's in real estate. That's up 200 billion, 2 billion per day, and it brings average household debt to 132,000. Who cares? The average American debt rose 21% in just 3 years. Yeah, we had a fiscal stimulus boost, but there's other ways to look at this. If these guys are right, the stock market should crash, but it's not crashing. People can't even handle the debt they've got. Who? Which people, though? Who are we speaking of? Okay, so let's actually turn to the data. First of all, let's get into why the S&P 500 is breaking out, and we've been chugging higher. Okay, we're going to do Q&A. We're going to hit all that. What up, Bukowski? Shout out to you guys. Did we not call the rally? Let's go. Now we're breaking, right? It's exciting because now we're breaking that trend. We're breaking out. S&P, what's going on here is that people are collecting, because people are collecting what? They're collecting what? What are they collecting? They're collecting L's. They're collecting L's. They had to stop out of their position. They're getting stopped out. Okay, they're getting stopped out because the vicious rally. Now I'm going to go off here. We're going to get the data because of war, Blank said. Because of war. Because of war. Well, we'll talk about the war. We'll talk about oil. But this is what is happening. Or this is what I have for you guys. Okay, so let me put this in front of me. Actually, let me put it over here so TikTok can see it. This is why the market's going higher. Now, look, if you have questions, jump over to the YouTube part. Jump over to YouTube so you could throw them in there so I can see them after I'm done. Okay, I'm going to give a presentation. I'll answer your questions. You got pushback, you got questions, you have comments, you want to debate me, let's go. All right, first and foremost, S&P earnings are rising. S&P earnings are rising. This is the fundamentals. We saw some of the technicals. We'll get back to the technicals. We're breaking out on the Qs. S&P earnings are starting to rise in the face of LEIs, which are the leading board indexes. This is basically CEOs calling for recession, right? This indicator has been going lower and lower and lower all year. Bond rates are lower. Okay, the future bond rates are lower. Okay, so leading economic index, you guys, if you're familiar with the LEIs, these usually predict recession. But why isn't it happening? Why is the stock market outpacing it? Because it's a sentiment indicator. So you got to keep this in mind. The LEI is sentiment. When the Fed projects that we're going to crush the market, we're going to crush expectations for growth, we're going to bring down inflations. We're going to bring down inflation. Well, people get scared, right? CEOs must prepare. The Fed has never communicated this much in history. So the more they communicate, the more heads up the market gets, the recession gets, and people start pulling back. And CEOs start pulling back. And guess what? They are in recession. They are feeling it. But as a whole, the big companies move the index. That is the reality that we sit with. The big companies move the index. That means if the S&P goes higher, the companies who suck, who are struggling, also get a bid. That's momentum. That's momentum, okay? And there's other reasons for this. First of all, margins, right? Let me bring this on the side so I can read what I wrote here. First of all, here's what I got. A cocktail for the triple Qs, big tech outperformance. This is what's going to lead this rally going forward. Triple Qs, big tech. S&P earnings continue to defy negative sentiment indicators, which is the leading, conference board. But are they really leading? They are. They're supposed to lead. And they are leading, but it is a disproportionate. If you ask the Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, you ask those CEOs, they're not going to say recession, but they lead most of the earnings. So it's not proportionate, right? It's just not proportionate here. The big earnings are coming from the big tech companies. Our economy is no longer full of oil, our energy companies. It's no longer full of, it's technology, and technology outperforms. The analysts didn't expect productivity gains to boost margins. That's my explanation. They did not expect, and down here we got margins, right? Margins are actually ahead. Let me zoom in there. See if I can zoom in. Margin expectations are now up 3 quarters in a row. Not only that, they're also above pre-pandemic highs. So what does that tell you? Earnings, margin, profit margins, revenue's coming down, but profits have bottomed. Profits have bottomed. Your ability to retain earnings are coming higher. They're moving up. And it's not just that, right? Here's the kicker. We're going to actually show you the earnings that are moving up. Here's the kicker. At the same time, because there is this recessionary feeling, because things are slowing, don't get me wrong, GDP is coming down in the fourth quarter, right? Their delinquencies are going up. We're going to see that too. Well, also rates are coming down because of that. The Fed is done hiking. So you got rates coming down. You have inflation coming down. This further boosts profitability for these companies. Lower rates, higher valuations. Lower inflation, retaining more earnings, right? Lower producer prices, lower costs, more profitability. Lower yields, lower cost, higher profitability. Keep that in mind. Not for every company, but for the big companies, big tech, who can weather the storm that we've been in. We've been in a storm. They bottomed last year, 2022 in October. They shaved off 250,000 jobs last year, actually more than that. So they've weathered the storm. This is a rolling recession, a rolling expansion, and it's a stock picker's market. Here we got more data from facts. 81% S&P companies have beaten SP. 81% of companies have beaten S&P estimates. There's a lot of data out there that is very bullish. You're seeing a mix. You're being fooled. And I said there has to be a black swan to turn this boat around. There must be a black swan. So if you're betting on that, you might be right, but you have a small chance of that happening the way things are starting to play out. Okay, the other kicker is if the Fed keeps rates high, these monopolies are also profiting from Fed rates. Apple, $160 billion of cash. They park it in the money market fund. Now they can fund their own debt. They take out debt with their cash, and now they're running for free. So the monopoly, the rich get richer and the poor get poor. That's what we're witnessing. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Okay, next part. This is really it right here. Rich get richer. In red, you have the top 10 S&P companies in red. Okay, what is this graph showing us? What is this bar chart showing us? This is the interest, the effective interest rate for these companies. So December 18, 19, 20, 2022. So if we go back in time, the effective interest rate for these companies is going lower for the top 10. So they're paying less rates, while the bottom companies are paying higher rates. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. They're going to lose. This is the fourth turning, and what they're going to do is turn out the losers. The losers are getting smashed. You got to be careful what you're invested in. Okay, now here's FactSet. This is a very credible business model research firm. Okay, FactSet. Now let me just show you what this is telling us here. Analysts expect S&P to report higher year-over-year earnings growth for Q1 of 2024. So they're already expecting higher growth next year. Okay, 6.7% is the growth rate. So let's just take a look at this. This is today. Okay, Q1 2023, the expectation in September was negative. This was the expectation in September, Q3 of 2023. The expectation was negative. We came in 4%, stronger than expected. Okay, Q4, the expectation was stronger, and now the expectation is lower, right? So that's not good. But guess what? It's still higher. It's still higher than. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That it's not higher. The expectation wasn't met. So now you say, okay, well, Q4 looks worse. Okay, well, let's go to Q1 of 2023. Basically, this is Santa Claus, right? This is going to be Q1 of 2024 that we actually get this. We won't see this until Q1. I'm sorry, till February, till January. So Q1 of 2024 earnings, now we get a swing in the other direction, higher than expected. So the real bump in the road, the market's already looking past that. The bump in the road is literally October to December, which will be reported in Q1. That is the bump, but it's still going higher. Okay, now Q1, which will be reported in March of 2024, expectation is higher. Q2, expectations are higher because they're factoring in everything that we just talked about, lower rates as bond yields fall, the future growth expectations start to pick up, or the future earnings inputs increase. So the point here is S&P earnings growth is set to expand. It is set to expand. Earnings growth is set to expand. Okay. And so that's the bull case. That is the bull case. And I know people are worried. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen here? Right. I went over this data. You want to check this out. Here's another reason I think we're bullish. The US Fed's liquidity program, bank term funding program, continues to climb. So in simple terms, the Fed is still supporting the banking system. So when you hear collapse, credit lines, credit card debt, well, consumers are fine. Consumers might slow their spending. The defaults, they have jobs, so they're going to be fine. The defaults are what's going to cause the crisis. But what happens? FDIC steps in. The Fed steps in, puts all the debt on the balance sheet. That's the game plan. That is the game plan. And yes, a 30-year Treasury auction was weak, but we did not see rates climb to a high enough level to shake the markets. Just didn't get it. All right. Now, today, this is what we got today. Consumer sentiment. This is actually really interesting here. So you got consumer sentiment came in. You got consumer inflation expectations. This is really offsides. People are really confused in my view. Consumer sentiment has fallen 3 months in a row. Okay, this is it, 3 months in a row. So people are getting very negative. And I think, and also at the same time that they're getting negative, this makes sense, right? They're running out of cash. A lot of people are running out of cash. All right, but we're still above the long-term trend from October 2022. So yes, they've been declining but the trend is still higher. But if you look at the bigger trend, it's still lower. So that's kind of tricky there, right? We're probably heading for a slowdown. Actually, we are in a slowdown. That is happening. But expectations, here's the trick. Michigan inflation expectations have been rising. From what? Where are these expectations rising from? The long-term trend is lower. Where are they coming from? Consumer sentiment is falling 3 months in a row. It's still trending higher, whatever. Expectations are rising from a lower level. Consumers are starting to feel higher prices as they head into the spending season. So what I think is happening is that now that it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, it's time to spend your big bucks, right? To show off who you are, to show off for your families, to show off how much I can spend. Look, I'm doing good. That's people have to spend more, so they're going to be a little more negative. They're like, damn it, I don't want to buy that, right? This is not a good situation. We've already done all our spending. So I think what's really happening is they're starting to feel the inflation. And they think inflation is moving up, but it's not. It's just they're feeling the inflation. Their credit limits are at are up. They're delinquent. Credit delinquencies, auto loan delinquencies, credit card delinquencies. So they're starting to feel the pain, but it doesn't actually reflect that inflation is moving higher. That's not exactly what's happening. It's just that they're running out of cash, but they still have jobs, so they feel broke. They feel broke. Now, next piece of news. Bankruptcy filings. Now, this is interesting. Bankruptcies, right? Let me zoom in there a little bit. Bankruptcies actually peaked in March. So those aren't making new highs. And I know you're hearing, bankruptcies are everywhere. We'll see how we end the year, but bankruptcies have not made new highs yet. Okay. Credit card tightening is starting to roll over. So bankruptcy filings rolling over. Credit card tightening rolling over. Severe delinquencies are rising for auto loans. Okay, I know this is hard to see. See if I could zoom in. This is in orange is auto loans. I'm sorry, black is auto loans, credit cards. So those are rising, but they're still not above. They're not at all-time high levels. This is '08. So we're rising from low levels. Can this get worse? Sure, but expect the Fed to step in. Tightening commercial real estate loans. That tightening is rolling over. So you're getting 3 instances where bankruptcy is rolling over. They've already peaked. Credit card tightening rolling over, peaked. Okay, this is banks tightening on their credit, lending standards, basically. Those are peaking. So it almost feels like it's, the tightening is pretty much done. The Fed is done. Bond yields peaked. Now we're seeing credit tightening start to peak. 1-year inflation expectations are rising. Now here's what doesn't make sense. But you have gasoline prices rolling over, diesel and gas rolling over. Oil prices rolling. So I'm saying, hey, where's the inflation coming from? If expectations are higher and it doesn't come out that way, that's not the case, then it's, it means nothing, because gas is going lower, oil is going lower, consumer spending is slowing down. We see that in the GDP. Where's the inflation coming from? Again, throw your comments on YouTube if you want me to address it, if you do care. See if I missed anything. Oh, so how are these, the real question is, how is the delinquencies going to affect GDP, right, going forward? I think that's the real question here. And I think this is what I think is going to happen. I think that consumers are, well, I've already seen this. A lot of people are borrowing from their mortgages to pay off credit card debt. So what does that do? It kicks the recession down the road. It kicks the fall in spending down the road. Okay, and then it's like, all right, well, let's push the recession out to the summer of 2024. Okay, good luck, because look who's in office right now. Do you really expect the White House, Joe Biden, do you really expect them to stand by and let the economy roll over and let people default on credit cards, basically credit cards, auto loans? Do you think they're not going to put money in people's pockets? My bet is they come in, they scoop up all the pain, because they want votes. We're heading to election year. So they're going to come save the market. Is it inflationary? Probably. But if inflation by next summer is already at Fed's target, well, you get a little boost in inflation. But the market continues to move higher, because the threat of higher inflation is not there, and the threat of growth collapsing is getting rolled down the road. It's getting pushed down the road. S&P earnings are picking up. S&P 500 is picking up. Earnings, I'm sorry. I think that's just about Tesla. So I'm just going to end my rant with this. We called this out in the past. Technicals, this was October. This was literally 1 month ago. Seasonality suggests consumers will keep spending, employment remains tight, stocks will perform. This is last month when everybody was extra bearish, right? Technicals bullish from my point of view. They're picking up. Fundamentals recovering. Now we're seeing the earnings growth start to recover, right? Positioning very bearish, sentiment very bearish, very negative, in an uptrend. Economic activity, ISM services expanding. That's still, now if ISM goes negative, then we're in trouble. New orders up, that actually changed. Production up, that didn't change. Construction spending's up, multifamily's up. Unit labor output up, consumer seasonal strength up but rolling over. Employment up but kind of stale. Housing market still in recession. We know that. Inflation remains tame and soft. That's actually making, this is the biggest bullish argument. Inflation next week is going to come in. This is going to be the next rally, I think. We probably sell off into the print and then boom, it's good. We go higher. Liquidity is picking up globally. As we head into recession, liquidity conditions pick up. As rates come, literally when bond rates roll over, when bond rates come down, that literally boosts liquidity. What is liquidity? It's money growth. It's the amount of money coming back into the system. It's not inflationary because it's not going into the consumer's hands. It's going into capital markets, which is why Bitcoin, crypto, Ethereum, Chainlink, Solana, all these cryptos are exploding. Ethereum in anticipation of liquidity picking up in the new ETF. And now there's Ethereum ETF. Are you kidding me? Fed balance sheet is down, but that picks up if something breaks. Shadow QE still online, still eating up the US Treasury supply. That's why rates are not surging, because shadow QE, reverse repo liquidity is coming in and eating up the Treasury supply. Basically, the Fed is paying for the Fed is already paying for the US Treasury's debt that they're creating. It's already happening, just under the hood. It's just a word game. It's a terminology language game. But when you see under the hood, the Fed is still here to rescue. They've been doing it. They've been bank term funding program, right? At all-time highs. The Fed is still underneath the hood easing conditions, but you're being lied to, saying it's full QT, everything's going to break. Something did break in March. Credit standards tightened the most in March. They broke, and then the Fed stepped in. That's the game plan. But nobody's going to tell you that because it's not a free lunch. There is no structure. There is no game plan. There's no way to know the future. You got to see what they do, not what they say. What are they actually doing? They're buying U.S. Treasuries under the hood. Shadow QE. Shadow QE. And here's the biggest thing you need to, this is the easiest thing to pay attention to going forward. Okay, macro forces, I said 1 month ago, near peak. Fed funds rate, near peak. Did it peak? Yes, we're done. Yields, near peak. Did we peak? Yeah, we're done. DXY, I don't know. This one might not have peaked yet, but it is peaking. It hasn't made new highs since. If it rolls over, crypto goes ballistic. Oil peaked a lot stronger than I thought. Oil definitely peaked. Oil is done. There's a lot of reasons why. Vol peaked. We went to like 22, rolled over. These are the macro forces. This is my bread and butter for understanding, for seeing the future trend. Is the bread and butter, is the macro forces. If there's anything you learn today, it is learn the macro forces. We'll look at the charts to show you what that means. Plus seasonality. Typically the S&P performs best in the fourth quarter. A lot of this has to do with the end of tax loss harvesting, Q3, and then Q4, they start to buy again. They buy the dip. Vicious Santa Claus rally. We nailed it. We nailed it. Is it over yet? No. Maybe the war breaks out. Maybe something expands, something gets crazy, but that's a black swan event. Good luck betting on a black swan event. Good luck. Good luck. Learn something new. And the goal really is just to get you, okay, answer questions now. The goal is to get you to see another view so you can think for yourself. So you can stop listening to the financial media. Hey, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but you want to be able to at least think for yourself and then make a decision. Not base it off of your favorite TikToker, including myself, or your favorite YouTuber. Think for yourself. All right, I'm going to start with the YouTube comments first because, hey, what up, YouTube? Let's see. Bukowski, Slimesy, what up, you guys? Would you say Tesla is setting up in a reverse head and shoulders? Yeah, remember oh, you weren't there, I think, or were you there? We talked about this yesterday. Tesla setting up the reverse head and shoulders, 100%. I actually got long again today. Look at, see how I have it marked up? I literally have it marked up. It's a dangerous position. I know it's dangerous. It feels very dangerous. It's scary. But what do I always say? If the overall market is picking up and Tesla is oversold, You're going to get a relief rally. I'll take my losses if I'm wrong. Something could change, but this is the game you play, is risk. Every time you get on the road, you take a risk. So you got to take risk at some point. Am I advocating that you take my trade? Hell no, I'm not. I'm only showing what I say. I'm doing what I say I'm going to do. Right? We have this charted out because we call this. We said, hey, look, we look like we're forming a reverse head and shoulders. Are we breaking out yet? No. Tesla's actually very weak. I'm kind of pissed. It's much weaker than the overall market. But there's a lot of news, a lot of bad news being filtered in, a lot of bad news on Tesla's end that is, and we're going to go over that later, that is being filtered through the price action. Oh man, people are pissed. I know the bears are pissed that the overall market is picking up. So yeah, reverse head and shoulders, when it breaks out, it's going to fill that gap. Maybe you hit some weakness, but at this point, the momentum for the overall market is so strong. Okay, it is so strong, and you're headed into an inflation print that should be extremely good. So I think we sell off into the print. You know, I've been saying this the whole time. We sell off into the print. We've moved up too much. There should be a sell off into the inflation print, pricing in a surprise. If the surprise doesn't show up as expected, markets explode. Q's all-time highs. S&P all-time highs. I don't know. There's a lot of companies that are struggling, but Q's all-time highs. The setup is there for the Q's all-time highs, right? 30-minute chart. Yep. Is that that's a 1 day? That is the 1 day chart. Oh, and by the way, yeah, I have different glasses because I stepped on them and broke them. So excited. Step on them and broke them. Got to get new glasses. Can't even see. So yeah, there it is. There's your reverse head and shoulders, right? We haven't broken out yet, but the opportunity, the lag is there. Still grinding. Yeah, Chavez game. Still grinding as always. I'm working on the course. That's why I'm kind of late. I'm inconsistent, but I'll be honest. I'm working on the course, right? It's the market's a lot of information. I'm working on the course. I hope it's ready in time, but I'm taking my time. You guys have I'm not just trying to sell a course. I never came out here to try to sell anybody anything. It's been a year now. Now it's like, okay, do you trust me? If not, that's totally fine. If you think I can bring value to, I have a course ready for you guys pretty soon. Let them be bearish. Extra liquidity for us, 100%. Surely this market has to pull back. This is madness. It is madness, but the shorts are starting to cover. The shorts are what? Okay, text me because I'm in the middle of a stream. Don't ever interrupt me. Should know better. Okay, so Qs, right? We're in the Qs. Look at this breakout in the Qs. We broke out of the trend. Did we retest the trend? Break and retest, right? Break. Here's the break right here. This is the break. Retest, went lower, shook a bunch of people out. I told you. And then we gapped up. Break and retest on the trend, moved higher, exploded. They're covering the shorts. You get breakout traders stepping in. You get longs who just haven't made it. You get shorts covering. Santa Claus rally. Let's go. Santa Claus rally. Hassan, what up? What's your thoughts on the consumer confidence report today? Oh, we just went over that. Basically, consumers are worried, but the market is not. Like, here's the thing. You got to think about it this way. 80% of taxes are paid by rich people. That's who runs the market. That's who's doing most of the spending. And rich people still have money. They're still spending money. Broke people, as a matter of fact, we have these charts. Did I post them on here? I'll pull them up. Actually, I thought I did. I guess I didn't show them on here. I'll pull them up. Actually, let me just pull this up. We're talking about it right now. Where is it? This is Generation X, millennials, credit card delinquencies. Let's see, delinquency rate. So here it is. I'm going to pull it up. All right. Don't worry, TikTok. I'll get to you guys. If you want me to see your comment, jump over to YouTube, put your comment, and then come back. Unless you're cool with just listening. So here, check this out when it comes to the consumer, right? And this is not political. This isn't, listen, we're not here to feel sorry for you if you're losing money or you can't pay your bills. This has nothing to do with that. This has nothing. I'm not here to have a pity party. I'm here to report why the market's moving higher. I know people are struggling. Trust me, I've been there. And then I started investing, not in stupid dividends, right? I was broke. I said, you know what? Let me buy the fear, and it worked out. Let me buy the fear in innovative companies that are doing well. I want what the rich people have. I want what the smart capital is into. I don't want to just chase things because it's safe. There is no safety. Inflation rate is going to outpace your wages over time. The Fed's balance sheet will outpace your wages over time. There's no safety. You got to take risk in life, right? We live in the US, so it feels like you don't have to take risk, but in other countries and across the world, you always have to take risk to succeed. You're here to make money. It is not easy. Nobody's going to tell you what to do. So there's always risk involved, right? Anyways, here we go. Lowest income bracket is suffering the most. This is pre-pandemic, right? This is pre-pandemic highs. So let me breathe here. Delinquency rates are rising fastest for low income areas. So the delinquency rates on credit are rising the fastest for the lowest of income. That's very unfortunate. Just like the war, very unfortunate to those who are innocent. But that doesn't change the path. That doesn't change what wins. It sucks, but that doesn't change what makes you money. It just doesn't. Okay? Look at rich people. The richest cohort, right? The highest income, they're still below pre-pandemic highs as far as delinquencies. How about the next quartile, right? Which is next to the richest people. They're a little above pre-pandemic highs, and then the second quartile is a little above. So you're not seeing a rapid rise. When you see the richest people delinquent, that's where you really get scared. And some people might disagree. Fine, cool. But guess what? These people are going to get saved by Joe Biden in 2024. Let me just put it that easy. They will be saved. That dude is coming out. He's going to spray for votes. He's there to get votes. It's coming. Almost guarantee that. That is just psychology. That is just common sense psychology when it comes to the government. Okay, next chart. Next chart. Same, and it kind of shows the same thing. Millennials. Oh, so this chart basically shows millennials are suffering the most when it comes to credit card delinquencies. And I think it's because that age cohort, they don't have houses. They're like right in the middle, right? They don't live with their parents. They're probably married, have kids. And I don't know why that is. There's a lot of reasons why, but for some reason, they are above pre-pandemic highs for credit cards delinquencies. And then you have, who is this? Oh no, that's millennials. And then you have Gen Z. Oh, so never mind. It's both generations. They're suffering. The young generations are suffering. They got screwed. They got, they got scammed on colleges. They got college debt. They got scammed the most. That scammed them, right? What's your way out of it? Buying a dividend stock? No, I don't think so. That's not your way out of it. I'm not here to give financial advice. I'm just saying, yeah, they got scammed. But the people with the most money are going to be the baby boomers by far. They own like 60 trillion, 70 trillion. They're not going anywhere. They're fine. They have homes. They can take money out on their mortgage, still pay off debt if they have to. They're getting Social Security. They're the richest. Until the rich fall, you're good. The market anyway, right? The market is not fearing this. That's kind of what's happening here. So, again, it doesn't, what is this? Why isn't, that's weird. Close window. Okay. Anyways, there's some more data too. What is this? This is bankruptcy filings by year, right? We're not really spiking above this is 2000, going all the way back to 2010. Bankruptcy filings are right in line with recession. This is a recession. Like, this is literally the signs of recession. Unless this last quarter, we just get an exorbitant amount of bankruptcies, right? Maybe we do, maybe we see it. But month over month, they're still lower than they were back in March. March had the most bankruptcies. So, and I think that's literally just a reflection of the Fed stepping in to save the market. They're going to keep doing it. And the only thing you have to watch out for is inflation. Does it come back? And so far, it's just not happening. What are your thoughts on, okay, we went over that. I know that was a long explanation. We'll get back to the charts. Chainlink doesn't take a breath, could add a bid at 14. Any thoughts, bro? Same here. I'm like, damn, Chainlink, let's go. Come, slow down. Crypto doesn't trade like stocks. When it moves, it defies all technicals. It defies technicals, right? It should have pulled back a lot more, but now when it does wreck, though, when it does get wrecked, it's going to get wrecked. So I would just be patient, honestly. Be patient. Maybe it goes to 18. Who knows? That's my next resistance, 18 for Chainlink. But it'll get wrecked. Never chase. Wait for the reckoning. The reckoning will come. And now, you know what I'm starting to think? That Bitcoin front runs the ETF. I'm starting to think Bitcoin actually front runs the ETF, prices it in. This looks like a buy the rumor, sell the fact. That's what the setup feels like. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it feels like. The faster Bitcoin goes up into the ETF, the more likely, pay attention, the more likely when the ETF actually gets released or actually gets approved, Bitcoin actually sells off and goes all the way back down to 19. No, I'm just playing. It doesn't go back down. It probably just sells off and then bounces and gets bought up. I think people are buying this beforehand. That's what it looks like. It's just, it doesn't care. It's just FOMO. And there's a lot of reasons for FOMO. If you understand it, like, I mean, Bitcoin outperformed every asset. It outperformed NASDAQ since COVID. Since March of 2023, it's outperformed every asset. That's why there's FOMO, because people are tired of being broke. The millennials, the institutions want, it's greed. It's just pure greed. And guess what? Greed takes you a long way. That's why the stock market goes higher over time, because greed ultimately is stronger than fear, or else you'd be in a bear market every year, right? This is where I start. We stand on business. Okay. I like appreciate it. Long tech communications, commuter discretionary. All right, let's get to the TikTok now. I know we got some doom gloomers on TikTok. Always, as always, right? And you guys keep throwing out your questions. But yeah, I think that's a setup. I mean, we'll go over the macro forces too. The macro forces, like this is the last thing to drop out is the dollar, right? The dollar still hasn't really, the dollar looks kind of bullish, but if you throw up the RSI, it looks weak. So eventually it probably comes off. Maybe, maybe not. As long as bonds go higher, big sell off on bonds, but they're, cup and handle. As long as bonds go up, stocks go up, crypto goes higher, period. Rates are pretty tame. Well, they had a nice rebound into the end, right? Well, wow. So rates started climbing into the close. I didn't even see that. Rates started climbing into the close. VIX, bond volatility. Look at VIX making new lows on the VIX. This is another rally, Santa Claus rally, year-end rally. How about NASDAQ volatility? Kind of jumped. Vol looks like it's starting to roll over. Triple B spreads. Nope, no credit risk. Put to call ratio. I'll look at that later. Anyways, I'm going to try to jump through these. A lot of earnings have pushed higher recently because of shock value of layoffs, immediate effect. I mean, what people are discounting is AI and productivity. AI productivity, straight up. That's increasing margins. Productivity increases margins. Less cost, higher production. More growth with less cost. Remember the last rally, what I said? From the last rally in the summertime, it was 10x the growth at a tenth of a cost. That's why stocks bottomed and exploded. Now we're starting to see the fruit of that labor, but not in all stocks. You got to be careful. It's a stock picker's market. You're shaving off the weakness. Texas man, thanks for jumping on. Don't forget to subscribe to the TikTok. I'm almost at 1,000. I mean, not TikTok. I'm sorry, YouTube. So are you saying you think the market is going up or down, bro? What? So I mean, it's Friday. Okay, I'm gonna try to be nicer than usual. Do I think it's going up or down? I mean, if you've been listening to me, you know it's going up over time, right? I don't mean day to day. I don't do that day to day stuff. Over time, it's going higher. I think we have a Santa Claus rally. I think the Qs hit all time highs. Okay, S&P maybe not. I think it's just more likely Qs hit all time highs. This shows an EV companies with SHIT tons of debt. Tesla can survive it, but Rivian decimated. Yeah. I'm very bearish on a lot of the. Listen, I know some of you guys like Rivian. I don't think they can survive. They're not earning. They're just they're in the hole. Actually, we could pull that data up. Okay, they're in the hole. Rivian, a lot of the EV makers, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. If Tesla's in trouble, you know they're in trouble, right? If Tesla's struggling, they're definitely struggling. What was the latest? This was Tesla still growing. I thought I had some EV stuff on here. Maybe it was from yesterday. Oh, this was hilarious. Maybe we'll play that in a second. This lady literally trying to scold this guy. I'm gonna keep that there. Anyways, let's get through that. This was funny. You can go to my not TikTok. God, I'm so confused. Twitter, and find it. This lady is literally shaming this guy for running his car in the parking lot. He has a Tesla. She doesn't even know. This is why I'm bullish Tesla. Some people still have no clue what Tesla is. Still confused. So that's how you make money. It's when people have no clue. And this guy, super bearish, very smart. Listen, there's some smart people that are very bearish, very smart. They're just wrong. It's not the smartest people that are the wrong. It's the ones who can adapt, right? Fortune favors those who can adapt. Evolution, not, you got to change. You got to be able to shift. You got to be able to change gears. You're still riding Amazon, very bullish. Wonder if BAC or Visa are profiting extra now with more consumer carrying more debt. Probably. Oh, yes, we got a bear. Yes. Let's see if he'll jump on and actually debate. I think I just saw it. No risk in the biscuit, man. Tesla Cybertruck. Scared. Oh, Tesla Cybertruck. Yeah. Tesla Cybertruck is weird. I don't know what's going to happen with that, to be honest with you. I have no clue what the Cybertruck's going to do. You just don't know. You don't know. It could either be a flop, or usually the stock runs up into, I think the stock's going to run up into the event and then sell off. So it's very, it's very probable we run up into the trend. And because there's still a lot of uncertainty, Cybertruck is released and stock sells off again. Maybe back to another low. I don't know. You just don't know. But if the NASDAQ keeps moving, right? If the NASDAQ goes to all-time highs, Tesla's going to break out. What else we got here? You disagree on oil 100%. I've been mine growth from the beginning. Yeah, Big Man's Coming's been here from the beginning. He was bullish on oil. I was wrong. Now oil's rolling over. Now he's wrong. Now he's pissed. But guess what? He's Big Man. He doesn't cry. Big Man's a tough guy. I'm betting the upside on Amazon call. Amazon's killing it. Might have to call NASA. Tesla's going to pass 300. That's word. Yep. Apple will always be King Chads for years to come. Yeah, Apple, Apple, Microsoft are just smashing it. They have so much cash. I don't think people realize they're benefiting from the rate hikes. They're actually benefiting. They're safe. They're a huge cushion. IWM had small caps had a bounce today. Where is it? Apple. What do we say? After earnings, Apple would pull back, explode outside of the actual pattern, moving higher. Oh, private. Do I know you? Privata or whatever. TikTok. Rivian has 7,000 orders from Amazon to build delivery trucks. Yeah, I'm just skeptical on those. Like in this environment, you know where I stand. I'm not saying they'll fail, but it doesn't look good for EVs. It just doesn't look good for a lot of EVs. I'm not saying they go to zero, but I'm going to bet on the strongest assets, right? I'm going to bet on the strongest assets. Rivian's been doing pretty well, though, to be honest, versus the other ones. We're going down here in November, December. Trust me, Jeremy. Oh, we are going down. Okay, I'll bet you on that. When is it released? November 30th is the release. You never know. Elon might change it up. November 30th is the Cybertruck. It's going to sit on the lot like all the Ram trucks. Ooh, ex Tesla. See, if you guys don't like Tesla, that's totally fine. I'm not going to get upset. That's cool. It's a bet. Hey, you're betting on it. I don't know. The Cybertruck looks pretty cool. Who knows? Maybe it's a flop. Maybe it is a flop. But they are going to announce the $25,000 car also. Tesla Cybertruck is extremely ugly. Fortunately, Tesla is not depending on the Cybertruck. Yeah, it could be a flop. Like I said, we'll stay tuned. All right, where you bears at on TikTok? I know there's some bears on here. You're angry, and look at, they're getting torn up. The bears are getting so torn up that they're going to be pissed. All-time high. The market's going to go to zero. Tesla Cybertruck scared. Oh, okay. No risk is no biscuit. Tesla loves bad news. Elon literally said, I'm taking $90 per share of value and literally smoking it. Forcing that particular design for the truck. A lot of people disagree with Elon. Some people say we want Elon out of here. Market is forward thinking. Yep, Jack, 100%. It's forward looking. SMH crushed it today. So, yeah, this is a semi. Remember, I said, hey, look, AMD's a wild stock, but it probably had the best setup. Now you got, you basically have chips breaking out before NVIDIA reports. I think NVIDIA reports the 21st, something like that. Or maybe no, NVIDIA reports next week. NVIDIA reports next week. That'll be the nail in the coffin. AMD Double bottom. I mean, AMD is a monster. AMD is a monster. AMD is a monster. If it does come back, I mean, it's got to come back to like 110. That'd be nice. Comes back to 110, bounces, continues on the uptrend. Elon has proved to be a disaster for Twitter. I would disagree with a lot of that. I know you guys have your, I would disagree. I would say that Twitter stock maybe, but in general, I like Elon's move because I think I think it's the most free speech platform other than Rumble. That's why I like it. I think it's a win. Maybe not for shareholders. Black Monday. Here you go. Ricardo. Let me see if he has 1,000 followers. No, he doesn't. Of course not. Black Monday's coming. Yes, Black December, but I think it'll start in November and bottom in December. Black Monday? You think we're just going to have a crash in November and then bottom in December? That's a really weird thesis. You'd have to know, where does that come from? Is that just because I feel like it? Where does it actually come from? Your residents. I think you were bearish on Bitcoin too also. Shout out to the bears. They feed the bulls. You guys are wrong. And you guys got to have a thesis though behind it. You can't just be like Black Monday, Black December. From what? From what? Tell me what actually causes it. Just because you felt like it? You feel like it? Oh yeah, MSTR. I forgot about that. I'm just like, nah. I'm all into Chainlink at this point. MSTR, and there's still a huge short float too on a MicroStrategy. Huge short float, can go much higher. The perma bulls just got complacent for 15 years or are too young to know cycles. The perma bulls. Oh, what did Tom Lee say about perma bulls? Here, let's see what he said about perma bulls. I think again, let's use common sense here. Would you rather be a perma bear or a perma bull? Markets go up over time. And it's funny because people, and I'll pull this up on the I'll pull this up on the charts here. We talk about cycles and cycles and cycles. Well, what the hell do you think this was? I mean, what do you think this S&P down 27%? What do you think that was? That wasn't a bear market? Qs down what? Where were the Qs down? Qs were down 36%, almost 37%. That's not a bear market. Bitcoin down 75%, not a bear market. Big tech down 75%, not a bear market. Down, this pull, even bonds sold off, which was the biggest sell off as far as market cap in history, but that wasn't a bear market. Was that not the cycle? The cycle lows? Yeah, Solana's a monster right now. So I'd say Ricardus, I respect the fact that you can push back, but you got to have something behind that. Your response is complacency for 15 years. We just had a bear market. Here's the other part. The Fed will keep printing. Oh, you're still waiting for a response? Okay, cool. Let me get through it. Do you know CLF and what their thoughts are on Cleveland Cliffs? I don't know Cleveland Cliffs. Sorry, I don't know. MSTR earnings ran up. I know. Ricard is so true. Jeremy is still playing a spring chicken. Yeah, I'm still in the year-end rally. Cliffs Steel Company. I don't know much about CLF, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm looking to December 13th, 21st for the bottom. But where's it, Ricardus? Where you and Resonance are very bearish. That's cool. What is your explanation for that? Why are you guys bearish? Right? It's just, why are you bearish? Right? Wouldn't you want people to know why you're bearish? That looks like look at this. Look at that breakout. I mean, if I ever saw a bull flag, right? You get the boom. That's a bull flag right there. Break out of the bull flag. Oh, that was awful. There we go. Look at that bull flag though. I mean, that looks really good. Let's go to the weekly. It probably looks even better. All pissed off, the bears. They need just like, where do you think this buy-in's coming from? You think it's magic? You think it was just manifested? S&P earnings margins are up, bro. Oh, higher up. Why don't you just re-ask your question, private? Or why don't you just re-ask your question just re-ask your question on YouTube, bro? Why would I go back on the TikTok? Come on. Should one ever sell their Tesla stock in the short term or just accumulate for the long term, Marcus? Um, there's different strategies. There's a strategy to just hold forever. There's a strategy, not forever, but to hold, and there's a strategy where you can sell when everything's over. There's a strategy to sell, but it's more likely that you're going to make mistakes if you're new, so just hold. But always, if you're going to buy Tesla, buy when it's extremely, like when everybody hates it. That's when you buy, right? That's when I buy. When everybody hates it and it's collapsing, that's when you buy. You still might be wrong, but eventually the momentum is going to swing back to the upside because nobody's even close. All right. So private here, let me go ahead and address you, bro. Or I don't know if you're a bro or a she. Jeremy, do you neglect TikTok? I'm still waiting for your. I always tell you guys jump on YouTube because I get lost. The TikTok, it doesn't show me all the like. It's stupid. Just jump on here if you got a question or a comment. Higher up in the TikTok, yeah, throw it on here. Chart patterns are overrated. Okay, cool. Are you still expecting the inverse head and shoulders on S&P or think we keep ripping? Ugh, bro, I know. I thought we would have, let me go to that daily chart really quick. I thought we would have the inverse head and shoulders. Do we keep ripping? So this is what he's referring to right here. All right, here's your shoulder. It looks like we're above. So it could come back down. Maybe not a big shoulder. It could just stay here. We have inflation. So I'd say this. I don't think we rip into the CPI report. I think if anything, we might move sideways into CPI and then burst out. So not a big shoulder. It doesn't look like we're going to have a big shoulder. That's what I'd say there. Doifer, I'll give the Bears the unrealized losses at Bank of America, Wells Fargo. And yeah, they can have that for sure, 100%. You said you would go back to TikTok. I've trusted your words. Bro, you playing around? Or you must be a female, which is fine. But just throw your comment on here, okay? Did you check out Caspa? Incredible pump the last days. Oh, yeah, I heard about Caspa. Give me the ticker again. Give me the ticker. Now, NASDAQ, Biggs, NASDAQ is breaking out, so I don't know. Could go crazy. Yeah, it could just go crazy. You never know. The market's not predictable. That's why I just say Santa Claus rally based on the macros. I don't know exactly how it's going to work out. It's all about probabilities. KSUSD, Caspa. So what do you want me to check out about it? It's booming. I don't know much about it, so I don't know what to say. Right? I don't really know. I hope you make money in it. Let's see. This was September. I mean, this thing is up 50, 60, almost 60,000%. That's insane. That is insane. What about from March 2023? Oh, no. This was, oh, my bad. This was recently. What is the market cap on KSP? What's the market cap? I don't know what it does. Yeah, the breakout was about 5 cents. Looks like the breakout was about 5 cents. This was about 5 cents right here. And it's running. Again, I wouldn't chase stuff like this. Never chase. Wait for a pullback. You're going to get a pullback. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. That chart is insane. I faded Caspa. Shoot. I'll say this. You better be careful fading crypto when it's in a bull run. 1.9 billion. Okay, that's not too bad. It's about the size of a GRT, the graph. It's pretty monstrous. Okay, back to the TikTok stream. Bulls. Yeah, what up, Bulls? Can you chart CLF? How about this? I'll chart CLF if you know you're good. Chart CLF, jump on Chris to the YouTube and ask me chart CLF and I'll answer you. And you could jump right back to TikTok. That's fine. Just go put your question on YouTube. We bottomed, but we might have some drawdown. This is Sean. Since it's been such a quick move. Yeah, that's what I've been expecting, some type of drawdown, but it's just it's a strong move. So I think if we draw down, it's into inflation, maybe a couple days after, and then we move back up. But S&P earnings are moving up. Now look, into January, February, I think we have a pretty vicious pullback if we go to all-time highs. I think January, February, somewhere around Q1, we probably have the vicious pullback. Or maybe it's December. Maybe it's the end of December. So I'm expecting a vicious pullback, but not yet. I have 80K lined up on a crash. Oh, nice. No wonder you want to crash. You have 80K out of the market. How does it feel for Bitcoin to double on you while the market is up? Probably feels like crap. I know the feeling. So of course, that's why you're bearish. You have to be bearish, or else it feels bad, right? You got to be bearish. You're hoping and praying for a pullback. I'm not going to say I hope you get your pullback either. Maybe on an individual stock, who knows? How about this? Ricardus, I don't know who you are. If you're down, I'll send you a link and you can debate me on YouTube. Cool. Do you want to debate? Bring some content? If not, that's fine. You know, if you're scared or maybe you're too busy, that's fine. Look, I'm just trying to get some more content for you guys, right? To hear the bear side. Let's hear the bear side. Let's deconstruct it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he catches me off guard. Maybe I'm missing something. That's why I always say let's debate. HSBC downgraded Tesla and you thought, oh, it's a trash. HSBC is about to go out of business. They're trash. They have like no fault. The guy who did it, he's on average negative. Well, I wouldn't take it serious. You actually seem like a cool guy, so I'll talk to you. Yeah, I'll send you, actually email me, send me an email, Ricardus, and I'll literally email you a StreamYard link, and then you can come on YouTube and debate the bears. You can give why you think you're bearish, or tell me why you're bearish. Just send me an email. I'm pretty sure my email is on. As a matter of fact, no, jump on YouTube and just put your email in the comments. Or send me an email. If you don't want to go through, that's fine. Bears will get used for liquidity. We're going to bounce right off the bears. That's a big man's coming. Market cap is 1.9 for Caspa. That's not bad. Caspa probably has some room to go. Let's see what you got here. Bigs. Oh, Pepe, bro. Who's talking about Pepe coin? And then private. I don't know how to say your name. Private. Privat. Where are you from? Where are you guys from anyway? Will perform during great in the bull run. Buy it. I'm sure I'm not going to buy it because I don't know what it is. The thing is, I want to hear the fundamentals. What does it do? What does it provide? I'm not just going to buy it. There's a lot of risks to that. You want to be informed. But yeah, I hope you make money on it. I think the bull market is here. I think Pepe will be the meme coin this cycle. Shiba flipping. Ooh, I don't like none of those coins, in my view. I'm still sitting on a really good entry on Pepe from a while ago, so gonna hold it. God, you guys are crazy, bro. I would roll out of that. Those are meme coins, which means at any moment the rug can be pulled. At any moment the rug can be pulled on these coins. I'm warning you. I hope it goes up and I hope you sell at the right time, but it can be pulled. Argued with a crypto bear the other day. His basic argument is because of PMI household savings low. Hey, PMI I would say PMI is actually a really good argument. The ISM PMI actually pulled back, but we got to see a little more evidence for that. Household savings low, yield curve is stupid. The guy, literally there was a podcast on the yield curve and the guy was like, it's a false signal. The guy who made it said it's a false signal and that it probably doesn't play out until 2025. Markets are going to crash as well as crypto. What do you think about the yield curve? The yield curve reinversion, I think it takes like 9 months. So here, we'll throw up the yield curve on here. Got the yield curve on here. I think it's like 9 months. I got to go back to that podcast. It was on the compound. No, it's not here. It's on macro. Got the yield curve on here. Where is it? 10-year, 2-year. So 10-year, 2-year. So it's oh, I got to put this. Don't ever do this on a log. You got to do the yield curve on a regular scale. So the yield curve inversion, here's your zero bound. I think it takes, he said on average 18 months from the inversion. So, or further from the reversion. So you're looking at 18 months to cross above zero. And then you get the recession, which I think is going to be in 2025. If the other part is, why didn't we have a real recession from 2010, right? From the great financial crisis, why haven't we seen a big recession. It took a pandemic. It took a black swan. Use common sense. The Fed is not going to allow a recession unless there's a black swan. The banking crisis was your recession. It didn't play out because the Fed stepped in. You didn't get a recession until a black swan event. You need a black swan event to get a recession. It needs to be a surprise, or else the Fed plugs all the holes. It's as simple as that. It's easy to fall for cognitive dissonance, justifying future bull market despite that logic says it's not sustainable. I mean, I'm calling for Santa Claus rally, and then I think I think we're always in. I mean, for the most part, the S&P, like, you're gonna get corrections. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna get corrections, but over time, like, markets go higher. You know, markets go higher over time. I mean, what bet are you taking? You betting that we go? You betting we go sideways? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your guess? This was a bubble, okay? So the crash in 2008, I'm sorry, 2001. Now this was over exuberance. These companies, the NASDAQ, they didn't even have earnings, bro. This was all speculation. There was no earnings. The webs, they weren't growing revenues. There was no margins, and it crashed, and it actually bounced until what? 9/11, Black Swan event, went lower, right? 2008. I mean, that was a pure Black Swan event. That was the worst. That was bad. That was bad. That just crashed the market. That was a real business activity rolled over, rates. So this was a real bad recession, but this was the beginning of QE also. This is when the Fed balance sheet came on. They're like, we'll never let this happen again. We will never let this happen again. And now you get the beginning of QE. Okay. This is the start of QE. This is why I'm saying there's not going to be another recession. Like big stock market crash. You might get a correction of 10%, or we had inflation, so we had a 25% correction, right? But if you're saying there's going to be another recession, sure. We're not saying the market goes straight up for all time, but you know, I think the next like crash or potential financial crisis won't be till 2025, which is once the election is over, then there's no more promises. You probably get some type of correction unless there's another orchestration of financial. You're probably getting, or inflation comes back. Who knows? But not till 2025. I think we're going to all-time highs. But yeah, look at the Fed's balance sheet. Look at all this cushion they have. They shaved off the Fed's balance sheet. If you get a recession, boom, balance sheet goes right back up. Or they cut rates. They have a lot of cushion. There's too much cushion for a recession. The real issue is, do we get inflation? But that's not happening. So you're not getting inflation come back unless oil spikes. Therefore, you're more closer to recession. But if you get closer to recession while inflation gets down to 2%, they can save the recession. It's tricky. It's not that, it's not that clear. Let's see what else you got. It's easy to, oh, you already said that. Just do your research about COSPA and you'll be convinced. I mean, that's a lazy explanation. Come on. Don't be lazy. Tell me what they do. Tell me, maybe you don't even know. Maybe you read it. Give the audience some type of value by telling them. Don't tell me to go do the research. If you're gonna go over here pump COSPA, know what you're talking about. Okay, I don't care if you're a man or a girl. Give us some clarity. What is it? What does it do? Why should we buy it? Right? Just give like 2-3 sentences. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy, Pravate, whatever your name is. It's only a small bag on Pepe. Okay, you got a small bag. All right. Don't be like those dudes going all in. Lottery ticket. If you're going to do a lottery ticket, hey, spend very low. Do not be, people go all in. That's stupid. Look at the funding yield and open interest when deciding your market position for a specific asset that you're going to trade. Oh, thanks. Thanks for the advice. The funding yield and the open. Maybe you're talking about tokenomics. Why buy green candle? Biggs, what are you talking about? All right, back over here. Yeah, so the Fed's balance sheet's probably going to come back into play if we head to a real recession. These stocks crazy at the top. If these ratios mean anything, appreciate the love and the hearts, whoever that is. Thank you very much. How do I get over there? Oh, link in the description, Chris. I have 200 shares. Big man's coming. Everything is super inflating. It's like all the whales are pulling out of equities and bonds. Are pulling out? You mean going in? If they're pulling out, the market would be selling off. Yeah, I didn't understand that. Oh, also there's a crack spread on oil. So oil might keep. Somebody said contango crack spread. I don't even know what that means, but supposedly that means oil's going lower. Maybe bond traders, if equities traders are still long. I think there's just a lot of cash on the sideline. You guys got to realize that there's so much cash on the sideline that markets can still go much higher. They're waiting for the recession. They're waiting for the big black swan that you guys are waiting for. So there's not a whole lot of selling pressure. This is Ricardus. He's trying to sound cool. You seem cool, but the data I have, I don't share with anyone. It's not TA, it's based more. What a convenient answer. You seem cool, but I think what he meant to say is I have data that I don't share with anyone. It's not technical analysis. You have data. What are you going to do? What do you have, like a billion followers? What are you going to do? Trick them? You have data you don't want to share? It sounds like you ain't got shit. Don't get offended either. I'm just saying that's what somebody would say that has nothing. I have data that I'm not going to share with anybody. Bro, that's hilarious. That is hilarious, Ricardus. I have data I'm not going to. What the? Bro, I can't believe you said that. That's hilarious. Anyways, I respect it. Maybe you do, but I want you to check back in at the year end. See if you're right. Maybe you're right. But the fact that you won't even share your data, that tells me you don't really have nothing behind. How do I click on the YouTube for you? Bro, you just go to my bio. Go to my bio. Click on the YouTube. Go to my bio. Click on the YouTube. On esoteric data from my mentor a long time ago, I made 60K off the 2008 crash, doing it again. So you wait 12 years for a crash and then you go all in? I mean, good luck, bro. Good luck. I'd rather just be up on Bitcoin. The YouTube, click on the YouTube icon, bro, in my bio. It's a YouTube icon. Bro, Ricardo, bro, you wait. So you've been waiting from 2008 to get short. I hope you'd make money, but that doesn't sound like a very niche thing to do. Nobody wants to wait 20 years for a trade, especially when the Fed steps in. Why market went up today? S&P. I think the big picture here is the market went up today because S&P earnings margins are starting to climb, and the projections for 2024. Hold on, I got a messed up disc. The projections for earning projections for 2024, and let's see if I could pull this up. Earning projections for 2024 are going higher. So earnings are up, and then yields are down. That's probably the biggest thing too. Earnings yields are not earnings yields. Bond yields are down. So that's rates. Rates are lower. That's going to increase valuations. So that's why the market's up. And there's a lot of shorts covering. They're scared to go into the weekend. They've been hoping for the war to expand and cause more havoc. It's not happening. Chainlink at 1550. That thing's about to boom. Let's go. Let's go, Link. Oh, what the hell is this? This is not Chainlink. Don't worry, I'll hit your guys' comments. Gave trillion in unemployment, bro. Some of your guys' comments, bro, they don't make any sense. Give a clear and concise sentence. The market's up because shorts are covering. That is clear. Not these one word, like before you push send, say it out loud. Yes, I was a teacher, so I dealt with this. Say it out loud and then see if it makes sense so that we can hear it and move on. There's a lot of comments. So I don't want to be stuck trying to figure out what the hell you're trying to say. What'd you say, Biggs? That guy with his own secret data got the same energy as my dad, works at Microsoft. He'll ban you from Xbox. Yeah, the dude got the secret data. Who knows? Maybe he's profitable every 20 years. Every 20 years he shorts the market. Um, I've only listened to you for a total of about 4 minutes, but I can tell you're spot on. Hey, thanks, Good Samaritan. How long have you been in the markets? Since 2018. I'm really kind of fairly new. Since 2018, 2019, I got in February. I remember the day. It was February 1st, 2018. Apple. I bought Apple. I was like, oh, Apple's going high. Sold off on me. Got crushed. I put in like $885. It was my first time. I was so depressed. I was pissed. I was like, what? This is the best company. Everybody said, and that's when my journey started. I bought Apple. And then I learned. Here we go. Chainlink at, turn off the Fed's balance sheet there. Throw up Chainlink. Actually, you know what? Let's put this back to the log. Put it on, let's go to the 30-minute chart. Bitcoin's at 37K. Pfft. Sometimes some of you guys just need to be told you're wrong. You're off. Bitcoin, BlackRock's not buying Bitcoin. Bro, what are you smoking? That was just hilarious. Sometimes I got to watch what I say. I got to be careful because some people are just so, I want to say some stuff. It's just dumb. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? I can understand the Tesla arguments, honestly. Tesla has a lot of issues. But to say nobody's buying Bitcoin, you're bruh, you need to get I don't know. Anyways, Black Swan, it's all planned every 7 years on the Shamatha sabbatical sell-off. Look, ScalpNet, you could be wrong. Maybe they do plan the 7-year cycles. I don't really buy into that, but it could make sense on some level of conspiracy. You sound like my mom. Everything's a conspiracy. My mom's been saying the market's going to crash for like 2 years. It already crashed. If it crashes off of statistics, not off of esoteric magicians. Because you believe this religion and this political party. That is the stupidest way to look at life. Look at the facts. Look at the statistics. When things tip over and there's a surprise in the market, there could be a crash, 100%. The Fed would have to be caught off guard. And if they're or inflation comes back. I think the biggest issue is if inflation starts to re-accelerate, the Fed can save a recession. That's easy. They cut rates, they increase money supply, but inflation goes up, we're in trouble. If inflation goes up, we're still in trouble. Which is why I think we more so flirt with recession than inflation. They're gonna keep hikes. I'm sorry, they're gonna keep the Fed funds rate up. They're gonna stay tight. Next crash, 2028 to 2029. I wouldn't even disagree with that, ScalpNet. I think you could be right, bro. We can't see out that far. Should I hold my shares of APA or should I sell and take profits? Invested when oil went negative. If it's oil, bro, I can't tell you what to do, honestly, but I would not be in an oil stock. It could go higher, but I'll just say this. I think crypto, best opportunity by far, bar none, not even close. Wait for a rapid pullback. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, not really anything else. I'm not saying anything else couldn't go up, but that's what I know of. That's what I can explain. That's what I can defend. Would you say it sounds devious, so I might do the same? Yeah. Dude, I'm impatient as hell waiting a year for crypto bull run. I can't wait 20. Yeah, well, this guy is, I'll tell you this. The dude who said he has secret information, secret data that he can't share about the crash, that is one patient guy. I'll say this. You're more patient than me, bro. From 2008 and 2023, you're waiting to short the market. You got some patience. I'll give you that. What about Moody's cuts U.S. outlook negative, citing deficits and political polarization? There you go, Abdullah. You're from AZ, bro? Okay. Do I know you? That's actually some evidence right there, right? Moody cuts U.S. outlook to negative, citing deficits and political polarization. That's probably an article. Moody's has done this before, downgraded the U.S. debt. Really what's happening is the U.S., do I have this somewhere? I think I have it somewhere. The U.S. tried to sell bonds yesterday, and the buyers weren't buying them. They weren't buying the debt. So the U.S. had to increase the rate. They had to increase interest on the bonds, basically saying, we're going to actually pay you more to buy these bonds. And then the buyers kind of stepped up. It was a crappy it was a crappy moment. But there's a lot. I think there's just more catalysts to the upside. There's more tailwinds than headwinds. The headwinds come in if inflation falls off, or if growth decelerates negative. If we get negative job growth, unemployment spiking, and a surprise, we're in trouble. That's when we're in trouble. But I don't think so, because I think Joe Biden steps in. Mark my words, Joe Biden's going to come out with some stimulus check, maybe not a stimulus check, some way to stimulate the weakness. It is an election year. I'm going to bet 90% chance that happens. Maybe I'm wrong. What are you going to do? Sue me? It's my bet. I just think he does it. I clarified above what I wrote. Scroll. Oh, you did? Okay, what'd you say? I am talking about the discrepancy between the price and the derivatives and the market price for crypto, and open interest is the number of outstanding contracts in the market. Okay. It sounds like you got some knowledge on you. Would you say, Doifer? Green in crypto is like 10% of the trend. This is the beginning. Any 50% reversal candle is just proof that the pros isn't dead. Yeah, I agree. Oh, I missed a lot of your guys' stuff. My bad. Shoot. Would you say as long as you know buying alts is gambling? Yeah. Just saying that's usually the reason people give why to buy a coin, because price goes up. Yeah, most people just buy because price goes up. That is true. Thoughts on Apple? I'm talking about the discrepancy between the price for the derivatives and market. Oh, that's Isaiah. My bad. Outstanding on the contracts. Jeremy, I'm talking about the. Oh, okay. You guys keep. My bad. My bad. Look, I'm trying to handle two chats at the same time. Give me some. If you want to. Here, look. I'll do it for you guys. I'll hit it for you. Sometimes when I'm trying to read both chats.
Stupid.
Okay, there we go. I'm open to criticism. Yeah. Hey, maybe you sounds like you got some good knowledge though, Pravat. Thoughts on Apple? I mean, I think, I'm not the most bullish on Apple versus the other big tech companies, but Apple's going to probably break out. It looks like they have so much. Here's what I'll say, Asan. Apple has so much cash on the sideline. It doesn't matter what they do. They can buy back shares, which increases scarcity, which also increases EPS, or they can just collect interest from their shares and create a big cash pile. Apple's going higher. Does it outpace Meta? Probably not, but it's going higher. Or they go buy Lucid or Rivian's already so, or they go invest in electric vehicle. Who knows what they're going to do, but Apple's going to be fine. It's going nowhere, especially with China starting to recover. All right, let's see if I can catch up to these. The only thing that matters is option delta weighted volume. I'm talking about crypto dumping into. He's a bag holder. Positive Fed talk today. Janet Yellen is over here talking about. Janet Yellen's over here talking about meeting with China. They're trying to ease. Listen, a lot of the bearishness is geopolitical also. If geopolitical risks start to ease, the market's going to rip to all-time highs. It's worried about geopolitical risks. So if Iran doesn't step up and try to accelerate things, and Saudi Arabia is like, we don't want to, associate with Iran because we want to make money. So we'll see if those geopolitical tensions start to ease a little bit. Do you know who buys treasuries still? Crypto stablecoin users. Yeah, that's true. So the money goes into the crypto market so exchanges can buy more new project tokens. That is true to some degree. I don't know what point you're trying to make, Doifer, but stablecoins do swallow U.S. treasuries. Are you saying that there could be a collapse in the stablecoin market? The Caspa blockchain essentially a block DAG, a generalized. Isaiah, what does that mean? You're probably smarter than me. I don't know what that is. A generalized of Nakamoto census. A generalization of Nakamoto consensus, right? Enabling secure operations while maintaining exceptionally high block rates. What does that mean in English, though? Simplify it for the crowd. If you talk in crypto language, nobody's going to get it. They're not going to understand. You got to talk in simple terms. Currently 1 block per second with a goal of 10 seconds and aspirations of 100 per second. Extremely short confirmation times, mainly influenced by the internet latency. What is this, a layer 2? Layer 1? Is this layer 2? You're awesome, man. Connecting dots to the plot, the whole picture. Appreciate it. 100%, Hassan. The COSPA implementation boasts various impressive features. Okay, enough with COSPA. I know I told you to explain it. No, thank you for explaining it though. People are gonna read those comments. Positive Fed talk. Why Tesla's going so much? What's the prediction for it? I only joined at the very end. Why Tesla is going up so much? Bricks. Bull trap. What up, D Mayush? Bull trap. Bricks. Bricks is trash. D Mayush says bull trap. We'll see. How far do you think Link can go? Bro, I think at minimum for this entire cycle, I'm going to say at the minimum it goes to 100, 150, maximum 250 for Chainlink. Sell it at 99. You're still going to make money. Rumor is Zelensky is being forced to cut a peace deal with Russia. Oh, really? That might be why the S&P exploded. If you get a peace deal, I mean, the market's going to definitely rip if you get a peace deal. So things shift. Okay, things do shift. Block data pruning. I'll look into it right now. Look at Isaiah. Look at Anify. Will look into it. Okay, he can speak that language. I don't speak that language, but thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it. Vivek for president. At least he knows what's up in Ukraine. I like Vivek. I don't know if we're gonna go into politics. We can, but I'm a fan of Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah, I'm a big fan of him. He tore it up last night, calling everybody out. That's who I want to see. Smart business guy, young guy. I'm tired of these. I'm sorry if you're a baby boomer, but I'm tired of these old boomers running the show. They're not good with business. There's, anyways, yeah, Vivek, I'm pro. I like Vivek. He's probably my favorite candidate, honestly. Chainlink looks like it's forming that wedge pattern. What do you? We're at 120 already. Okay. All right. What else you guys got, man? What else? Hit me with the questions. My time is near the end. Santa Claus rally. I'll sum it up for you. Santa Claus rally. It looks like we're here. S&P is starting to break out. I'm not S&P. Well, actually, S&P is breaking out, but we do have the Qs breaking out of this. You have the Qs breaking out of the and making a new high from the I can't even talk right now. So anyways, the Qs formed a bull flag. This is a bull flag pattern, right? We broke above the previous high. Very strong capitulation too. So this is very strong price action. I've been telling you guys the Qs are going to lead the S&P because of because of all the cash on the sideline, because of the productivity, because of the AI, because they can fund their own growth, because they're growing their earnings in this slow in a slower environment. So we broke out, retested, held, went higher, big candle into Friday. And yeah, it looks like the Qs are on fire. The dollar is the only thing I'm worried about. It could break out, but it sounds like if the war cools off, the dollar is going to come back down. 10-year yields. We'll see if if 10-year yields might be forming this could bring the market down if they start to spike again. I don't know if they will, but 10-year yields, the cost of capital, right? The cost of borrowing. So if the borrowing rate picks up, that's going to put, it's going to be a headwind for stocks. But if it rolls over, actually, you know what I think is more realistic? I don't think the Fed's going to just like cut rates. I think what's more realistic, this is not really a stock. Maybe it does come down a little bit, but I think the more realistic perspective is that we actually see, what the hell? I think we see rates just move sideways. We could see this. The market can still move higher on that. Solana seems like they partner with Amazon. Who's Solana? I don't know. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Pravat. Caspa is a high-speed technology for secure transactions. It processes 1 block per second. Now it plans to reach 10 with hopes for 100 blocks per second. Okay, but what is it, layer 2? Caspa ensures security, trims unnecessary data, and supports efficient transactions verification. Future advanced solution. Who does Caspa compete with? Is it a layer 2? I think it sounds like a layer 2. What do you think about Iran attacks on the U.S. bases as they relate to tech stocks, aka lower interest rates? Is that really related? Iran attacks on the U.S. I gotta watch what I say. I don't want to get. It's a layer one. Oh, it's a layer one. Interesting. Okay. Is it if it's competing with Ethereum and Solana? It could be. It could move a lot. I don't think it's gonna be bigger than Solana, Ethereum or Solana, because people are just gonna choose Ethereum over time. It's more trusted. It has more use. Biden officials reject Moody's shift to Biden officials reject Moody's shift to the negative outlook. That's hilarious, of course. Um. Anyways, yeah, tech stocks lower interest rates. I don't think Iran really wants a war. That's what I'll say. They don't really want a war. Some people say that they didn't know about the attack. Who knows? We just don't know. Just watch oil prices. I'll say that. If oil spikes, more risk on the table. If it stays sideways, we're good. Take profit on longs and join me shorting. Definitely downturn first quarter of 2024. I wouldn't disagree with that, Dimayush. I think that is a logical scenario. I would say that. I think it's a logical scenario. The question is, how low do you go? By the dip, the market's giving us it's a bull ride. That's also makes sense. Who's to say it's not Q2? Could be Q2. I think it's going to be more. I think we slow down in Q1 and then Q2. I don't know, dude. I really don't know. This is a crazy market. That's why you're here, to figure out what the hell's going on. We know this. We do know this. The shadow QE runs out in Q2 of 2022. Okay. So what does that mean? No more buying of short-term treasuries. But the Fed could just come back. Joe Biden could come back. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to track it on a weekly basis. What's going on? Oh yeah. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. It is free for now. Building a course. If you guys are new, go check that out. Link in the description. Follow the socials, blah, blah, blah. Subscribe if you're in it. Subscribe already. Big players hold it up to unload on retail, then big dump. Possibly. Dimayush, I bet you didn't expect this big rally, did you? Actually, no, you probably did expect it because I told you. Caspa is a proof of work cryptocurrency. Okay. Fastest open source, decentralized, and fully scalable layer one in the world. Iran's supreme leader has shut his mouth and scared to death after Biden direct messaged him. Probably is, yeah, because they just don't have the weaponry. I think what Iran was hoping for was for the other Arab countries to jump in, and they're like, now we're good. It's like you're in the hood, and you see some. It's like you're in the hood, and somebody, I don't know if I can get banned for saying this, so let me just try to say it. Code. Somebody gets harassed, and you try to step in and say, hey, don't harass her. And then, but you're talking to some people from the cartel. Do you want to sacrifice yourself? I don't think so, right? I don't think people want to jump in that war. No, don't get me wrong. If it was a child, that's a different case. But I just don't think they want to join the war. There's no way. All right, Isaiah, what'd you have to say? People are going to choose Solana over cost. If speed is the use case, it's going to allow 1,000 transactions per second using Solana Fire Dance upgrade. Ooh, burn. No, I'm just kidding. But arguing layer ones is like arguing Google Cloud versus AWS versus Azure. Doesn't matter if there's no use case. KS will still need an Oracle. Oh, okay. Will you charge for your course or provide it for free? No, I'm charging for that course. I've given free content all year, so this will be me charging for this course. Maybe I do a free course in the future, but how many people do you know stream 5-6 days a week, literally for an hour? Right? I'm giving out free information all the time. This is just more organized, a way to picture, framework, all that stuff. How much? I don't know. I don't know how much I'm going to charge yet. I'm more worried about getting a really good product. I don't want to speed it up and then just get it out there to make money. I want it to be good, to make sense. I don't know. I'll let you guys know when it's ready. The Arab nations didn't get along with Iran. Yeah, they don't want to mess with it. They just didn't want to mess with it. Uh, what is it? 4 o'clock. All right, I gotta. Oh shoot, I have a fitness live. My bad. I have a fitness live at 4 o'clock. We were on here longer than I thought. I'll be on the fitness live in about 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes. If you guys want to answer, if you want us to answer some questions on fitness, I'll be on there. Do you have a deadline? No, shouldn't be a deadline. Yeah. So I'll be on that fitness live. Gotta go get. I hope you guys, I brought you some value. Stay safe this weekend. Stay safe. Okay. Stay blessed. Take care of yourself. Learn something new. Eat a good diet. Take care of yourself. Improve. Anyways, you guys stay safe. Stay blessed. I'll be on that fitness live in about 5-6 minutes. Oh, okay. You're Resonance. Okay. What up, Resonance? It's because you guys have different names. It's hard to understand. Anyways, you guys stay blessed. Appreciate you always.